2006, now we're talking. The Voya being cool is what got me interested in Bionicle, but Voya Nui and the Piraka is what got me invested. To this day, I still consider 2006 the best story of the series, and I'm still annoyed that they stopped making movies right before this. And I guess someone at LEGO is listening, because unlike the previous big shakeup in 2004, there were actually a lot of games on the website this time, more than any other year. And I surprisingly remember most of them, so this is going to be fun.
Piraka, go Piraka, Piraka, go Piraka, Piraka, go Piraka, Piraka, go Piraka, hey yo.
Once again, starting with the dumb thing, draw a Piraka. Let's just say there's a reason I'm not the one who drew the avatar of me you just saw. Despite this being connect the dots with way too many dots, it's actually a free draw tool, as you can see by what I did when I got bored. Nothing's funnier than giving a non-human character a human nose. The corner says to put your face close to the screen and turn the sound up. That's suspicious enough, but the strange part is nothing happens. It's just drawing on the screen, even as I hilariously defaced this Piraka. There's a second version of this too. I thought it would just be a different dot pattern, but it's actually entirely different. This one draws the lines for you. Yippee! Yippee! Holy shit!
Fuck you, LEGO! You made a franchise for children and you put in a fucking screamer!
Was the false warning in the first game just to make me think nothing was wrong? Make me lower my guard? I'd say it's scarier than most FNAF scares. At least I expect to be scared watching that game. I'm not ashamed to admit I quit immediately after seeing that. This isn't the only game centered around the Piraka. LEGO is really promoting their new villains, like with Piraka Attack. It's another top-down shooter, more similar to Smash TV this time because of the enemies coming in from set door locations. You have 360-degree shooting, but it's not going to help you much because rate of fire is slow, obstacles blocking shots, a lot of the enemies taking more than one shot, lots of doors to enter from, limited range, and one-hit deaths. There are power-ups like rapid fire, longer range, two-way fire, shield, and spread fire, but this game is still pretty hard. You can pick which Piraka you want to play as, which does cause differences in stats, but I'm not sure how much it'd help. I got through 10 rooms before a game over with the Piraka I thought would work best. But maybe you don't want to be the bad guy. Maybe you sympathize with the Matoran prisoners and want to help the Matoran escape. Top down again, but this one's more of a platformer. Lots of instant death lava, but you can collect up to 6 Matoran with chances to bring them back every once in a while. You can't actually kill the enemies, but you can stun them and run past them, because all your Matoran are fast as shit, which makes the precise jumping a little challenging at the beginning until you get used to the control. It was pretty fun until the first boss, where you have to avoid a lot of shots on a small platform that all instantly kill you. I seriously don't know how you'd avoid them. This is where we reach the second half of the year, when the Toa and Ica were introduced, and all future games feature them in some capacity. Which brings us to Voya Nui Adventure, which is the exact same gameplay as Piraka Attack. Okay, it's a little different. The ability to switch Toa on the fly with wildly different abilities and health bars. Sounds nice, right? But this game actually sucks. They have health, but it drains so fast it doesn't matter. Even more obstacles getting in the way of shots, and every enemy having way too much health. Even the powerhouse Jala can't kill most of them in one incredibly slow shot. Play Piraka Attack. Or Binding of Isaac. Next is the Ica Island Investigation, and I got some shit to say about this one. The basic gameplay is simple. There's a small area your character can look around, there's a Piraka pacing back and forth, and a lot of items to pick up. The goal is to pull all those items into your inventory while remaining undetected. Each screen also has a more complex puzzle that's optional, but gives another clue that I honestly don't know what it does. I didn't finish the game because of a glitch a few levels in. That's also why I don't understand the importance to hitting the Piraka with a tracking dart at the end of the stage. I've got more important things to worry about with this game, trust me. The items you collect. Okay, scraps of paper are fine, but a baseball cap, rock musician attire, iPods, and Conker recognizes all of these too, which completely goes against the fantasy world aesthetic of Bionicle. Even the most advanced part of the world, Metro Nui, wouldn't have anything like this. First off, it's fucking stupid, but it's worse than that. Here's a little history for you watchers that aren't big Bionicle fans. Back when Mask of Light was trying to find a distributor, every movie company they went to kept making the same request. A human kid has to enter the world. Because, as we all know, kids can't relate to movies or enjoy them without human characters. Greg Farshti, the story director for Bionicle, kept turning them down because, let's face it, it's a horrible idea. In fact, the reason the movie and its sequels were distributed by Miramax is because they were the only company willing to let Lego do things the way they wanted. The fact that this game is about humans coming to Voya Nui, at least that's what it seems, is a slap to the face? Yeah, let's go with that. Inika Island Assault, one of the games I remember best. And one of the launcher files in the download is called M-Slug, so we're in for a good time. And yes, just as the file foretold, this is a Metal Slug style run and gun, but without all the cool stuff those games have. You remember loving the gun power-ups? Well, here you get one, a triple shot that isn't even a spread shot. This game has the same problem Voya Nui Adventure had, where enemies that should die quickly take way too many shots to put down. Different character choices are merely cosmetic and one-hit deaths. Those check out, and you even have mouse-controlled shooting for more accuracy, but movement controls are stiff that make dodging shots annoying. Also, continues send you back to the beginning of the stage, so that sucks. And for whatever dumb reason, your standard shots are limited by a recharging meter. Why would a run and gun limit your standard shots? Still, I can't say if this is more annoying than its comrades in the genre, just because this game doesn't have a Konami code or infinite quarters. Which brings us to our final game, the Voya Nui Online game. By this point, the online game series was well known and loved by Bionicle fans, surely just because of the first game. So does this game better compare to that good original or its horrible sequel? Well, neither actually, it's pretty different. First off, this one isn't an adventure game, it's more like a single-player MMO. You pick one of the Toei Nika as your avatar, which I think doesn't affect anything but the element of your base attack. Equip armor and weapons and complete quests. Wait, armor? Weapons? Attack? Yeah, this game has action, and I'm so happy they finally included something to break up the monotony of walking around. It wasn't as bad in the first game because of its fast pace, but it was all still walking, so at least there's something a little more satisfying this time. The game plays with an isometric camera, which makes it way harder to get lost, by the way, and engaging an enemy brings it into a Project Cross Zone style grid. You have a certain amount of movement points, dictating how many squares you can move on that turn, and attack points, which do the same for a number of attacks. There's makings of good strategy here. Enemies are each a certain element, so picking the correct attack means not only considering the element, but the range, power, and the AP it consumes. Keeping your armor and weapons updated for the area of Voya Nui you're in is important too. However, there's plenty in the way, and I'm not just talking about obstacles blocking your view again. Why does this keep happening? There's a surprising amount of variance in the strength of your attacks, and not just because of critical hits. You never know if any given attack will do enough damage with a 10-point margin of error. This annoys me as an action player. If I do an attack, I want to know exactly how much damage it'll do. Mega Man's Buster doesn't do less damage to a Robot Master if the game feels like it. That's not the only issue with how much damage your attacks do, as in not enough. Against one enemy, it's easy enough to win through attrition, but with multiple enemies ganging up on you, it's basically impossible to win unless you're over-leveled. To combat this, there's a mechanic where you can distract an enemy on the field to chase you away from everyone else, but once the fight starts, they usually make a beeline to everyone else to drag them into the fight anyway, and you can't do a damn thing to stop them. That's actually the reason I stopped playing where I did, because 6 Usal crabs ganged up on me and I couldn't beat them. I couldn't even beat one of them, which would have at least permanently killed it so I could thin their members out over multiple respawns. Which means I didn't beat this game, but I didn't feel the need to. This game is pretty long, probably over 6 hours if the first 2 chapters are an indication. Much like Voya Nui Online Game 2, there were cheats I could have used, but I felt I had seen enough, because this game has a very predictable structure. Quests. Get a quest from a Matoran, go somewhere else to get an item, go back to earn the reward, they'll give you another quest, that's how it's going to go. 2 chapters of nothing but that setup, I think it's safe to assume the rest of the game would follow suit. Some people might be wondering why I'm okay with this repetition while Online Game 2 was so horrible. The answer may sound petty, but it's because this game is littered with small victories. You only have one objective at a time, you complete it and earn a reward. That's a victory, even if you know there's more right around the corner. In Online Game 2, it takes so long to complete one goal of getting money, even if that's the only thing you have to do. hours go by without any substantial progress. So even if everything is better after that, you don't want to see it through. You know what else makes this better? A map that can be pulled up at any time, and since every screen has the same camera angle, it's super easy to follow the dots and never get lost. And thank God, because losing my way was always a problem before this. There also isn't the excessive padding of empty screens like its predecessors, so it doesn't take long to get to your destination, especially when the character moves way faster than Holly. If you have more time than I do, the time to play further and grind that I can't afford because I need to make this review, Voya Nui Online game comes at a modest recommendation. I still prefer the original Voya Nui Online game to this one because of its atmosphere, but I didn't have a horrible time here either.
This revisit was a pretty good time, all things considered. 2006 is the year I was waiting to get to when I started this marathon, and finishing it means we're officially over the halfway point in the series. But I feel like I'm forgetting something. Like there was a more important game released in 2006. Later.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. I'm also a part of a Let's Play channel you can check out if we ever upload, or you can look at my Twitter account where I've posted some strange things. I'm probably working on the next video now, so stay tuned.